Welcome to Hobby Maker website. My name's Lisa, and this month's project we are making some Halloween stuff, and this time it's Inchies. Now, for those of you who don't know what Inchies are, these are tiny pieces of artwork that measure exactly 1 inch square. So it proves that you don't need a really big canvas to have a really impactful creation that's incredible and just personal to you. So the first thing we're going to need to do is create the inch squares for our Inchies. So all you're going to do is cut your watercolour card down to 1 inch squares. So you'll need 6. We're making 6 today. So get your trimmer on the 1 inch. And one of those strips is going to make us everything we need today. Again, this can be a little bit fiddly because obviously it's a very small thing that you cut in, so make sure you apply pressure to the scoreboard, the cutting board, as you pull down, otherwise that might move and you're going to get wonky inches. We're going to do that again because we want 6 square inches for our base, and then we're going to mount our inches onto that base. So cut another 6 inch squares. So that's 12 altogether. So you should have 12 inch squares. You're going to keep 6 to one side and they're going to be the base of your inches. If you look closely, all of these inches have had their pieces of artwork mounted to the back of their inch square. So what we're going to do now is we are just going to trim these down by just the smallest amount, just on 2 sides because it will make it square again. And all you're looking for, might be hard to see on white, but all you're looking for is a little picture frame effect, like that. If you do that to all 6 squares, they are going to be used as your canvas to create the inches. That's 3. That's 4. That's 5. And that's 6. Now, once you've created your mini canvases, your mini canvases, these are the ones that we're going to colour and decorate. So keep your 6 inch squares safely to one side and don't get any colour on them or inks. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to use, to get this variation that I have on these ones, the pinky red and the yellow and the mix of the orange of those 2 colours together, I'm going to be using Lindy's Magical Shakers. And I'm going to be using Laurel Garden and Rosewood Rouge. These come with a handy shaker already built in, but you don't need to use a huge amount. A little goes a long way. So if you've put yellow on one side, on the next one down, put it on the other side. On the next one, put it at the top, on the next one, put it at the bottom. This will ensure that you get a bit of variation in your colour. So there's the yellow one. It looks like you've got hardly any pigment, but for those of you who have used Lindy's before, of course, you'll know that that colour explodes when you add water. And here is the Rosewood Rouge. Again, less is more. You can always add water to move that pigment around. There we go. And now we're simply going to add the water. Spritz from above and let that water land on to that canvas. And as you'll see, the pigment starts to break apart. Now, if you like that look, you can leave it there. But I like the smoother, more integrated. So I am going to add 1 more spritz of water to each of these tiles. And that way, that water helps the pigment move in really wonderful directions. And if you've got these tiles on a flat surface, they're not going to run, but if you lift them up, you'll get those organic patterns where the water runs itself. And those sort of things you just can't paint even if you tried. So it's a wonderful effect. Then you leave them to dry. Now, because we're making miniature pieces of art today, you can either hand draw the things that are on there, or you can pull out your stamp sets, something like Cardio that have really tiny silhouette stamps. They're really good. Clarity also do some really nice silhouette stamps, as does a lot of brands, but today we're using Cardio. So I am doing a Halloween themed set of Inchies today. So I'm going to be using spiders and spider webs. Now, I'm going to start using the biggest spider. And we're just going to use some black ink. I want everything to be stark against that colourful background. So taking your first Inchie, whichever one that might be, and I'm just putting down my first spider. Then I'm going to go to Mummy Spider, the middle one, and we're going to do that. I'm going to offset this one because I might put a bit of spider web onto that one as well. And then we're going to go for the smallest spiders. And I'm going to do a couple of these. So we're going to do one by itself. And then I'm going to do one, oh, there's a couple of spiders on, playing around. There we go. And now we need to give them some webs. So I'm going to do a spider web on this one by itself. There we go. And we'll do a spider web on this one. And then I'm just going to take the corner of a spider web and put it here. There we go. And there on the corner. And I'm going to do a tiny bit of web for these ones too. I'm going to turn that around and I'm going to do a bit there. So you're just filling up that space with your stamps a little bit. And then when you've got your main focal points stamped on, you can then start to embellish them and really make them your own. So I like to just do squiggles, dots, spots. I'm a squiggles and dots and spots kind of person, I have to admit. So I am going to decorate these like this. And then for this one, I am going to add a nice little border here. And then to meet the rest of that, I am going to do dots. There we go. And this one, same again, with a zigzag border on this side. And dots to there. And I'm just going to do dots on this one. There's that one. And I'll dot this one as well, because that spider's web is quite fancy by itself. We don't want to take too much away from that. We need a bit of sparkle, don't we? So to lift them even further, you can pull out your glue pen and a little bit of coordinating glitter. And something to catch the glitter in. So I am going to do a line of glitter next to the spider, and I'm going to put some spots of glitter inside there. Give it a shake, make sure all the glitter is where it needs to be. And a flick. And you'll be left with something that sparkles. I bet black glitter would be really good on this. And you do the rest exactly the same one. Not the same patterns, but sisters not twins again, remember? So I'm going to do lots of spots on this one to match the spots across the top. And I'm going to just trace the edge of this spider web. Put some dots, because what this does is using similar patterns will tie your pieces together, because they are a set of 6 inches. So they need to be cohesive if you can make them that way. And there are our inches. Now, if you have a go at inches and you find that you really enjoy making these tiny bits of art, there are places on the crafting community that actually trade inches. So you can send your inches to someone else and you can collect other inches, a bit like artist trading cards or artist trading coins. There's also the ability to do these in 2 inches, and they're called twinches, which is really cute. So what I do to send mine off to the recipient if I'm trading is I use just a sticky glue dot, which can be taken off obviously, and then they can put them into whatever it is that they are keeping them in. Some people have collector books and things like that. I just keep mine in envelopes. But just before we do that, we need to mount these now onto their inch backgrounds. So just take a little bit of glue and place them as centrally as you can in the middle of that inch square. And there you have it, your framed inches, these lovely pieces of artwork that people can collect. And I hope you start collecting them, because they're very much fun to do and fun to receive. So I'm just popping the removable glue dots on the back of these now so that they can be on a flat board for transportation, so that your little inches don't get ruined in transit. Right, and there we have it. Our Halloween inspired inches complete and ready to send on.